Hi everybody, so here's the first in my series of interviews live out in the field that I'm going to be doing with bands that are coming through the Tampa area. I'm going to be trying to highlight some more obscure, more unknown bands, more underground bands and stuff like that. I'm also going to be including live clips in these videos. So my first interview here is with Rick Rozz. Rick Rozz is a guitar player who played with Death and played on the Leprosy album, and he's now playing with a group called Left to Die, which is a tribute to Death and Chuck Schuldiner, where they play all of the Leprosy album plus some other early Death songs. The band also features Terry Butler on bass, who's currently with Obituary, who also played with Death and was on the Leprosy album and with the band around that time. We have from the band Gruesome. Gruesome is a death metal band that plays their own music, but is very much a tribute and homage to early Death. Matt Harvey, who is also an Exhumed, he's on guitar and vocals, and Gus Rios, who is an ex from Malevolent Creation, he's on drums. So this particular weekend, I actually interviewed two other bands before I interviewed Rick at a completely different show, and I wasn't planning on interviewing anybody from the Left to Die band. Just because I didn't have time to reach out to anybody, and it was a timing thing. I just didn't think I was going to be able to do it. I saw Rick in the parking lot. I asked him if I could ask him a couple questions. He had a few moments. He was nice enough to oblige me. I just so happened to have my microphone in my car, so I grabbed it. Fortunately, I didn't prepare any questions because I wasn't expecting to do the interview. So after it was over, I thought, man, I should ask them this, I should ask them that. But anyways, I saw the opportunity, I jumped on it, I thought it would be fun. You get to hear some live clips here. Left to Die, when I post this video, we'll still have some dates left on their tour. So hopefully you can check that out. I'll leave a link in the description down below. I'm still getting used to these live interviews, so my microphone distorts a little bit. I tried to adjust the volumes. I did the best I can. I'm going to keep working on that. All right, so here we go from Left to Die, an interview with Rick Rozz. Welcome to Larry the Alchemist, where we discuss all things heavy metal and hard rock. And I'm here outside the legendary Brass Mug in Tampa, Florida, getting ready to hear the band Left to Die. And I have Rick Rozz with me. He's the guitar player in the band. Rick, thank you for this interview. Tell me, Left to Die, how did this, for those who don't know, Rick played with Death on the Leprosy album, played with Massacre on their first album. And Left to Die is a band, they're going to be playing all of the Leprosy album tonight here at the Brass Mug. So Rick, tell me, how did Left to Die come about?
It was really a coincidence. I got a hold of Gus Rios and from Gruesome and just asked him a question if he'd be interested in doing it. And he basically said there's a bear in the woods. And I was like, oh, okay. We really knew, he knew that Matt would want to do it. But the main thing was Terry Butler interested in doing it. And he was, so it was a shock. And be honest, it's been pretty terrifying, and I've been nervous about learning all this stuff. But I'm still getting my feet wet. It's the third show of the tour, and it's going really good. Everybody's really pro. Mortuous and Skeletal Remains are ripping, and yeah, it's going really good. The Florida show so far have been really, really good, and it looks like it's going to be another good show tonight here at the Mug. So
awesome. So, whoops. Yep, we're right out here in the parking lot here, doing this on the fly. Yeah, so I was going to ask you, you're playing the Leprosy album from top to bottom. I'd imagine that there's some songs here that you've never played live even, so was it a challenge learning this, going back, revisiting the album and learning everything from top to bottom?
Yeah, that's what kind of brought the little nervousness in, because I haven't played the songs in a long time, and they're a little more intricate than Massacre, you know what I mean? So it takes a little more thought process, and I'm kind of lazy. So it took me a little while to get it rolling. But yeah, when it came to, how real it's really happening, Yeah, it's I had to step up. So like I'm still getting my feet wet, and I make some boo boos. It happens, you know what I mean. But they haven't fired me yet, so I guess it's all right.
And you mentioned Terry Butler. He also plays bass with Obituary. And man, Obituary's got to be the busiest band in metal out there. They are constantly touring. So I'm amazed that you were able to find a block of time that guy wasn't touring, because Obituary, they are constantly playing, it seems.
No, yeah, totally. Obviously, it was a coincidence and meant to be because he happened to have a little bit of a time off. And like I said, when I saw tour dates, I was like, oh, I didn't get a warm-up show. We're just going to go and do a tour. So I guess they had faith in me, so it's going good, man. It's going good.
Are there any future plans past the tour?
We're taking it day by day, you know what I mean? Just we're going to finish this out and see what happens after the fact, you know what I mean? Can't really get ahead of yourself. This is so new, and I'm like, whoa, this is good right now.
When you're doing the album, are you going, as far as your guitar setup and everything, are you trying to recreate the sound that you had on Leprosy, or are you?
I pretty much had the same sound. I'm using a different, amp, but it still pretty much sounds the same. The tone's the same, yeah.
Okay. And what else do you have going on? Are you, what's your music future plans? Any upcoming things?
None really. I was retired. I had to borrow gear to do this. I sold all my stuff. Gave the guitars back to Scott Pivarnik from SP Custom Guitars. He built me 2 guitars. I told him, when I'm done, dude, giving them back. So I autographed them for him, gave them back to him, and I got them back.
And here we are. So is this going to spark a flame for you to maybe get back into performing and recording again?
I don't know. That's really, I can't even think about that, let alone writing songs. I've got enough songs in my head. You know what I mean? We're doing the whole Leprosy record and like 4 or 5 off Scream Bloody Gore. So, and it's been 34 years since I played those songs. So I had a few months. I was lazy, but I'm getting my shit together.
Awesome. Well, make sure you check out Left to Die. They are doing a pretty extensive tour. You've got, how many dates are on the tour?
I don't know exactly how many dates. It started on the 7th and ends on the 31st.
Okay, so check, I'm going to leave some links in the description down below where you can get more information on Left to Die, and hopefully they're coming to your town. So Rick, thank you for this interview, and have a great show.
You too. Thank you very much.
All right, and until we see you again, make sure you stay heavy, stay metal.